Perfect macros does not always mean perfect results. And I want to tell you a little bit today about why I think If It Fits Your Macros is a great way to start your fitness journey, but it's not a great way to continue your fitness journey long term. Now, sure, there are some individuals that can follow the If It Fits Your Macros framework. They can eat whatever they want, and as long as it follows into their macros, they're seeing good results. But that's not everyone, and that's honestly, in my experience, maybe only 10 to 20% of the population that can actually do that. And the reason being is our bodies need fuel and they need real food. And so I want to take an example real quick of something that was told to me by my nutrition professor when I was in college. They told me, if you were to imagine taking your plate through a time machine and showing it to your great-great-grandfather, if they weren't able to name any of the foods on that plate, then you probably shouldn't be eating those foods. And that expels a lot of the junk that we have access to today. But it keeps in a lot of real food ingredients like what we also have access to today. So I'm a big fan of, when it comes to meal prepping, to using one ingredient foods. So if I'm eating chicken, I'm not having breaded chicken or cauliflower chicken or this type of chicken or that type. I'm just having chicken. If I'm having sweet potatoes, I'm having sweet potatoes. If I'm having asparagus, I'm having asparagus. I'm not having asparagus doused in oil and butter and all that type of stuff. I'm having steamed asparagus. And this can really help you manipulate, and also it makes dieting a lot easier if you're just kind of eating the same thing day in and day out. That's another point for another time. But let's take protein, for example. If you're doing If It Fits Your Macros and you're getting all of your protein from, let's say, beans, and then you're getting tofu, and then you're getting a cut of fish every day, what you're missing out on is you're missing out on all 20 of those amino acids. There's 9 of them being essential. There's 11 of them being non-essential. And when the non-essential ones are talked about, those are ones that your body already produces and creates on its own. But the essential amino acids, those 9 essential amino acids, those are things that we can only get from food. And unfortunately, plant-based proteins a lot of times do not contain all 20 of these amino acids. So what ends up happening is we don't have all of those amino acids ready at the site of repair after a hard workout, where your body is trying to rebuild this muscle tissue that you just put in so much effort to destroy, create the stimulus to cause new growth. So that's around protein. Now with fats, it really depends on the type of fat that you're having. Saturated fats, things like butter, whole dairy products, fatty cuts of meat, all that type of stuff. These are the types of fats that we see correlate directly to increases in LDL, apolipoprotein B, all of these atherogenic particles that can actually lead to things like heart disease. Now, when you're getting your fats from better fat sources, monounsaturated, polyunsaturated, unsaturated fats, all of these sources are going to be a lot healthier for you. They're going to help fuel your metabolism. They're going to help fuel your hormones, but they're not going to cause the inflammation that some of these other types, like trans fats, for example, those cause a ton of inflammation. So when it comes to fats, trying to keep your fats very simple. For me, I like avocados, avocado oil, olive oil, egg yolks. I love salmon. I love nuts, pistachios, almonds. That's where I get my fats in from the day. For proteins, I typically get it from chicken breast, from beef, from salmon, from those kind of 3 main protein sources, eggs, of course, and maybe some Greek yogurt from time to time. And then for carbohydrates, I really typically cycle through sweet potatoes, white jasmine rice, oatmeal, honey, blueberries, and I use them strategically because some carbohydrates are very fast acting. They're high glycemic carbohydrates, and some carbohydrates are very low glycemic carbohydrates, and they're slow acting. So we want to use the slow ones when we're not needing excessive energy at this point in time, or when we're trying to instigate repair, but we need the fast acting carbohydrates, let's say before a workout or after a really hard workout, those types of things to help our bodies refuel. So that's a little bit on some of the macros. And these are all things that if you're doing If It Fits Your Macros, you're going to end up trying to hit the right amount of protein, the right amount of fat, the right amount of carbs, but you're getting it from such varied sources throughout the day that the next thing that comes into this equation is digestion. And that's why I like following a meal plan more than I like following If It Fits Your Macros. And that's why I see meal plans work so much better for most of the population than the If It Fits Your Macros framework. This is because of something called digestional efficiency. When you're eating similar things on a routine basis, your digestive system knows exactly what to do with those things. Your gut microbiome is set up to handle those things. Your body is in a prime state to say, hey, I know this is chicken breast. I know what to do with this chicken breast. Let's digest it. Let's remove the leucine. Let's remove all of these essential amino acids. Let's put them to work when it comes to rebuilding muscle tissue. Same thing is true with things like dairy. For me, for example, I don't do well with dairy at all. If I have ice cream, if I have milk, guess what? Within 3 to 4 days, I'm going to have some real big cystic acne on my back, on my face, all over. And that's not any, that's unfortunately genetic. That's not something I can really change. I can have some Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt for some reason doesn't really mess me up. But for those whole dairy products, those can absolutely, send me to a place I don't want to be. That's another thing with if it's your macros, right? Because if you're aiming for, let's say, 160 grams of protein, sure, I'll have 2 cups of milk, and that's going to give me, let's say 32 grams of protein from doing that alone. Well, those 32 grams of protein in one person in the population is going to do great. And then in the other person in the population, they're going to be up all night using the bathroom. They're going to have acne. They're going to feel terrible. They're going to get inflamed. They're going to have all these types of issues. And so it really comes down to finding the foods that work for you and then repeating them time and time again to deliver on the consistent results. The other thing that's important is cooking your food similarly, because we want to weigh out our food. We want to track our food. We want to do all those types of things. And if you're cooking your food differently each time, if you're using different sauces, different seasonings, different oils, you're getting different macros each time you make that dish. And so eating similar things, what I like to do is I like to cook all of my beef, all of my chicken, all of my main protein sources one day out of the week. Another day out of the week, I like to cook all my carb sources, put them both in the fridge. And then every single morning I wake up, got my little food scale. I dump out however many grams of rice I get or however many grams of sweet potato, chicken, salmon, whatever it is, put that in my Tupperware, add in some veggies, microwave it, and I am good to go for that day. That removes a lot of stress, and also the preparation removes a lot of wasted money. That's the final thing that I would say around meal prepping is taking your time to actually prep food in advance is so much easier. It's so much cheaper, and it's so much more time convenient than stopping at Chipotle on the way home, spending $15 on a burrito bowl, then going to this place to get this, and then going from here to here. Don't do that. Take your time, spend some time to prepare in advance to make it convenient for your lifestyle, and then it will be consistent in your lifestyle so that over long term, you're able to achieve your goals. So outside of the macronutrients, we also need to, of course, discuss micronutrients, things like your vitamins, your minerals, all these types of things. And that doesn't fit into the if it fits your macros framework at all, because the if it fits your macros framework is just around your macronutrients. So micronutrients are essentially what helps our cells survive, what helps our cells repair, replicate, all those types of cellular things that we learned about in Bio 101 back in high school. But all those things are super important. If we're not getting in the right amount of vitamin A, D, E, K, all of the fat soluble vitamins, all of the water soluble vitamins, if we're not getting in the right minerals, if we're not getting in the right amount of magnesium, potassium, sodium, all those types of things, we're not going to be making progress. And not only that, but our body and our blood work is going to suffer for it. Because I've seen people eat the perfect macros, but from varying foods, from the wrong foods. I mean, I had one guy that was getting most of his carbohydrates from Sour Patch Candy Kids. And it's like, okay, well, yeah, sure, you're getting in 200 grams of carbs, but those are all very sugary forms of carbohydrates that are spiking your insulin, causing blood sugar issues, and then leading, in his case, to prediabetes, which could have been easily avoided, even though he's eating the same amount of grams of carbs, mind you, could have been easily avoided if he was splitting that up, let's say with rice or with potatoes or with gluten-free pasta or whatever it is. These are all things that are within our control. And thank goodness we all live, in America where we have access to grocery stores. We have access to these foods and they're cheap, and they're a lot cheaper than buying them from a restaurant or buying them from a pre-made place. If we just take the time to invest in ourselves, to meal prep these foods, to get both the macros and the micros, and to just live a healthier and more sustainable future. Your health depends on a lot more than just the amount of protein, carbs, and fats that you eat in a day. It depends on the sources that you have. It depends on the micronutrients that you have. It depends on the little things that amount into big things in the future. So don't leave results at the wayside by following some simple dietary plan and just trying to hit a certain amount of grams of protein or a certain amount of calories per day. Take the time to prepare a meal plan and stick to it for about 2 to 3 weeks, and you'll see the results that will fuel the motivation that will continue this process for you.